Child Impact International is an organization that gives hope and fosters permanent, positive change in the lives of disadvantaged children and their communities. Countries include Zambia, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. Child Impact's investment in the lives of more than 3,500 children continues to yield infinite returns. Outreach spans from child rescue operations to providing an education and a home for deaf and blind children and orphans. Above all, Child Impact's sponsors give hope to the ones who need it the most. If you were to visit Bangladesh, you would see that it is a country rich in history, culture, and natural beauty. But those who live there have little time to enjoy it. Due to economic challenges, most of the people have to focus on working as much as they can in order to put food on the table. Families with both parents struggle, but if one parent leaves or dies, the rest of the family suffers even more. That is where organizations like Child Impact offer children in these situations hope. Today, we will be hearing from two people, a current student and a former student, about the change that sponsorship has had on their lives. On our trip to Bangladesh, we had a guide that helped us every step of the way. His name was Shohag. He helped us find students to interview and would translate what they said when they couldn't speak English. Jim Rennie from Child Impact sat down with Shohag to learn more about him.
Today I'm going to have a chat with Shohag Boydia. Shohag is our sponsorship manager in Bangladesh, and over the years I've got to know him fairly well, and I can tell you that he's a very committed hard worker. But today we want to find out a little bit more about him. And Shohag, how long have you been doing this job?
I am doing now is 11 years.
11 years, wow. So let's talk about your earlier days.
Yeah.
Tell us about your mother and father and your family.
So my father is a mission worker and working in the Shonapur village school. And when I born, that time that village robber attacked my father and he died.
Wow.
And then one of our pioneer mission workers, they took us, me and my brother, to the KMMS orphanage, and I grew over there. And it's time passed, and after 10 years, my elder brother died in the school somehow.
Wow. Oh, that's sad.
And my mother, she is young lady, and she sacrificed her life for me to grow up and get the education and study. And now this is her contribution. I am here standing in front of you.
Wow.
It is heartbreaking to realize that Shohag's past is one that most children in Bangladesh are currently living. Approximately a third of the 160 million people living in Bangladesh are children. With proportionally fewer adults to take care of the children, they often have little hope for the future. In spite of these dire statistics, Shohag has been able to use the gift of sponsorship to have a better life.
And you have a family? Tell us about your family.
Yeah, I have a family. I have my wife and my two daughters. One daughter is 9 years old and another is 5+. Both are growing fast and they are attending school in Dhaka. We live in Dhaka in the union office.
Okay.
Shohag is not the only person to have his life changed for the better by Child Impact. While visiting SAMS, Jim Rennie got to sit down with one of the students.
So we're here at Sam's seminary in Bangladesh, and today we're going to meet another Child Impact student. She doesn't speak a lot of English, she speaks Bangla, and I don't speak much Bangla. So we're going to ask her some questions about her family and what she wants to accomplish in life. So what is your name?
My name is Riti Murmu.
Sidimura. And how old are you? 10?
16.
16. Okay. So tell me about your family.
আমার মা আছে কিন্তু আমার বাবা ছিল যখন আমি ছোট ছিলাম তখন আমার বাবা মরে গেছে তারপরে আমার মাসি ওরা এখানে কাজ করে শিক্ষক হয় এখানকার তো ওনারা খবর দিছে যে এখানে একটা প্রতিষ্ঠান আছে তো তোমাকে এখানে ভর্তি করানো হবে তারপরে আমাকে এখানে নিয়ে আসা হলো আমি এখানে 2012 সাল থেকে আছি আর এখানে ছোট থেকে এত বড় হইলাম এখন আমি 11 ক্লাসে পড়ি
Do you enjoy being at the school? Are you happy at the school?
Yes.
Yes. And what do you want to do when you grow up, when you get older? What do you want to be?
একজন টিচার হব
A teacher. Okay, that's great. So here's a young lady that lost her father at an early age, and thanks to her auntie, she was introduced to the school, and now the family have been given hope with sponsorship.
If it wasn't for her loving family and the opportunity of sponsorship, Sita Mumu's story could be very different. Children of impoverished families are often sold by their parents, who hope that they will be fed and cared for better than they are able to do. But these children are rarely in a better situation. Most have to live and work in the streets. For girls, they often start out as domestic servants, but as they get older, they are forced into prostitution. For poor children in Bangladesh, sponsorship is their only hope.
I just want you to tell me how important is sponsorship to these children?
This is the really huge impact on the children. You can see in my life, in full of my life, I got the sponsorship and I get education and I am graduated. Now I am serving the children. Same time, children have the 3 times meal in boarding school. They get education. Even this is the big impact for their families also. Some of the parents very poor, even they don't have work every day. But most of them are day laborer in different work. So this is the big help and big impact in the child life and also in their family.
How many children do you manage?
We manage over 3,200 students.
3,200
students.
Okay.
We have 4 field manager and I am supervising them, and we have big and small around 10 partners.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know how many children there are in Adventist mission schools?
Yeah, all of them are in mission school and many of them graduated and some of them get job inside the church and some of them go outside doing some work in the private organization.
Right.
Some are working in the NGOs and also some of them working in government office also.
So how big is the school system in Bangladesh?
It is big school. We have 7 boarding school like Sam's and including 1 college, and we have around 100 village schools.
100 village schools.
And in total we have more than 7,500 students.
Right.
Also we have 11 Adventist mission school around the cities.
So you say you have 4 field officers. Just tell us, what does a field officer do? Just very quickly, what is the field officer's role?
The field officer main role is to check the roll call and prepare the new application. They prepare the photograph. They do collecting the thanks letter, translating. Even they collect Christmas card, distribute gifts, and also check other school like orphan supplies and other activities they do. They
Right.
travel in the village schools also. This is their big role to handle all village schools.
Right. So the field officers in all the countries where we have children are very key to the success of the organisation, both in checking the children are there, getting feedback with letters and APRs. In the team that works with Shohag, we also handle our projects. And starting now at KMMS School, we have a very large building project. And The critical thing for us is to have people on the ground that we can trust, that we can work with. And I guess over the last 4 or 5 years, I've got to know these guys personally. I see them as my friends, I see them as my work colleagues, and I see them as our partners. And so for us to ensure that the donors' money is being well spent, it's critical that we have good support on the ground. And here in Bangladesh, we have that, and we are grateful to the workers here, but we're also grateful to the donors, and by bringing the two together, we can ensure value for the donors.
For those children who are lucky enough to be sponsored, they can look forward to a future where they can live in a safe environment. An environment where their immediate needs will be taken care of, and through education, they will be empowered to help not only themselves, but also others. But there is a very different future for those that are not sponsored.
Shohag, tell us about some children who can't get into a boarding school, who can't get into an orphanage. What's the sad thing that could happen? What's the bad impact that could happen?
So the bad impact of their family and life, that they will definitely the addicted in the smoking, drinking, and they don't get the school, they don't go to the school, even they do other work, and they will not have bright future, they don't have the education.
Yeah, we visited a village the other day, and there was a solo mum, and she's having a challenge with her 10-year-old boy, because he can go into the field sometimes and earn some money, doesn't have to go to school. And she was very distraught, as if we could help her. And so children, as we're driving along, you see the brickworks and you see the children, and the brickworks are a place where children are exploited. And so we're just so excited that we can give some children hope, and through sponsorship, that's what happens. We are very reliant on people like Shohag. And what makes the big difference is that some of them have actually been sponsored children. Some of them have had to come through the orphanage, and so they have a passion. And I know that Shohag and most of the staff in Bangladesh have a real passion, and we're very excited that they partner with us, and we're very excited that we can sponsor children, and that you, the sponsors, can make a difference.
While the need for sponsorship is still large, the difference that every sponsor makes is a changed life. A life that doesn't have to live on the streets. A life that can find hope even in the shadow of loss. Sponsorship may not be able to change the world, but it does change the world for one of God's precious children.